Welcome to our lessons. Please subscribe to our channel, Mr. Academia, share, and comment on our lessons. For today, we are going to look at multiplication of fractions. Fractions are multiplied, of course, by multiplying the numerators together, and also we do multiply the denominators together. So multiply the numerators together and also multiply the denominators together. So in the case whereby we find there is a common factor dividing the numerator and the denominator, we divide with it first, and then after we divide the resultant after reducing the numerator and the denominator by a common factor. So in the cases whereby we meet a mixed fraction, we first convert that mixed fraction into an improper fraction, and then we follow the same steps like we've seen in this second step. So let's basically look at an example whereby we are supposed to work out the following fractions. So in the first one, we are supposed to multiply this and also multiply this. So you can see that this one here is a mixed fraction, whereas number one, or the first example here, these are just the normal usual fractions. So let's see what we do in each of the cases in our solution here. So in the solution, for the first one, if you're multiplying 25 out of 28 with 14 out of 15, so first of all, we multiply the numerators, that is 25 and 20 and 14 together. That's 25 times 14 on the numerator. And then the denominator will multiply 28 and 18. So you realize that 28 and 14 have a common factor, so that's why we go ahead to reduce this. 28 and 14 using 14. 14 goes in 28 twice and 14 goes in 14 once. Then with 25 and 15, reduce them by a common factor of 5. 5 goes in 25 5 times, 5 goes in 15 3 times. So finally, we shall have 5 times 1 divided by 2 times 3, which is 5 out of 16 as our answer. So if we look at this one where we have a mixed fraction, we first convert the mixed fraction into an improper fraction. So this fraction here, we multiply 3 times 3 plus 2. That gives 9 plus 2, which is 11 out of 3. So this gives 10 plus 4, which is 14 out of 5. So we go ahead and multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. And finally, we have our final answer as 154 out of 15. So if you want, you can still go ahead and write this into a mixed fraction, but even if you stop here, it is okay if you stop there. So during dividing, or when we are doing division of fractions, the steps kind of change a bit. One, we need to know what the reciprocal of a number is. So the reciprocal of a half is the number 2 out of 1. 2 out of 1 is the reciprocal of the number a half. So every time you're taking a reciprocal, you just change the position of the numerator and the denominator. The denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. So the reciprocal of 3 out of 4, 3 is the numerator, 4 is the denominator. So the reciprocal for this will be 4 out of 3. So you can see the 4, we've made it the numerator, and the 3, we've made it the denominator to get what we call the reciprocal. So whenever we are dividing a fraction, we multiply the numerator with the reciprocal of the denominator. Multiply, or we just multiply with the reciprocal. That is, if it also depends on how the fraction is arranged. So if the fraction is arranged like this, in this general way, we just get the reciprocal of the second fraction and we multiply with it. So imagine, remember, the second fraction is C out of D. So we are just multiplying here, but we now take the reciprocal of this, which would be D out of C. The reciprocal of this is D out of C. So we multiply with the reciprocal, which is D out of C, like this. Okay, so let's look at an example which will tell us more on what we are supposed to do uh, when we are multiplying. So in this example, we are supposed to work out these. This is the first one and this is the second one. So in the solution, this is what we do in the solution. So you can see that in the solution here, for this one, we took the reciprocal of this and then we just multiplied it with the first fraction and we got our answer as this one. For this one, we took the reciprocal of a half, which is 2 out of 1, which we multiplied with this to get the answer as 6 out of 7. So basically, that is how we do multiplication and division of fractions, taking into consideration what the reciprocal is, and also applying the idea of reciprocals in division of fractions.